Due to suggestive adult themes and dialogue, this podcast is intended for adults. In other words, the truth is ugly, so we get ugly right along with it. Everything we say is out of love for ourselves, our people, and our community. Sincerely, the Green Route Podcast.
Stop the damn dancing! Act like you got some goddamn sense, people!
Black people don't hope, we wish. We wish a motherfucker would be in our shit.
As far as I'm concerned, they could burn this bitch to the ground. And it still wouldn't be enough. And they are lucky that what black people are looking for is equality and not revenge.
All right, y'all, I want to welcome y'all to episode 15 of the Green Route Podcast.
Yes.
Thank y'all for tuning in with us on live. I am GS.
And I am Marlissa. What's up, y'all? Welcome back.
So,
Last thing we should jump into. This student loan forgiveness.
student loan forgiveness.
Or cancellation. It's not really forgiveness. I don't really know. So this is a campaign promise that Biden made. He ran on this, and so a lot of us were calling for forgiveness. There was a few things thrown out: $10,000, $50,000, or overarching swipe of the pen, get everybody canceled. If you have federal student loans in particular, and the point of that, and I want to say I was on that team because I feel like, specifically as a black woman who knows that we take out more loans to, in essence, get paid less for a lot of the work that we do, this hurts us more than anybody. So I was there for, cancel it all. And another one of my points was, we constantly fund wars. We have bailed out corporations. We bailed out banks. I still don't own a piece of Bank of America, and we bailed them out, 2008 and after that.
Housing crisis, bank mistakes, and that's what we know. And that's what we know.
Our tax dollars fund so much, but when it comes to actually our tax dollars helping us to do something for ourselves, like, oh no, we can't have that. That's socialism all of a sudden. So socialism for the rich, capitalism for the poor, apparently.
Yes, we're meant to we're meant to compete with each other for what we need, but in terms of the bigger corporations, the bigger industries, no, they have to be saved.
We fund them, yes.
Yeah, we got to save the bigger, not the individuals, the bigger.
Yeah.
It don't make no sense.
So right now, one of the points that's coming up is, okay, $10,000 not enough. So then he ups it to $20,000, and we know it's for sensationalism. Sure, midterms are coming up. All right. My issue though is that we've just forgiven all of these PPP loans. We sending all this money over to Ukraine and elsewhere. We have troops all over. I think we're right now keeping afloat 800 military bases in other countries. We are bailing out corporations. We continue to subsidize Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos going to space. And we can't use our money that comes out of our check every 2 weeks or every week, how often you get paid, to give the American people a little bit of freedom. My other issue with this is, who the fuck has this money anymore? We have not paid student loans since 2020. Early 2020. It's
going to be a shitty bill to start back getting.
But the problem is, I'm trying to figure out who has it, because inflation has eaten up any wiggle room that people had. Inflation has eaten it up. So if you're anything like me, at one point I was paying like $800 a month for my student loans.
That's a lot.
$800 a month when rent has gone up.
That's a lot.
When gas is up, when food is, everything is more expensive. And so chances are, if I wasn't living paycheck to paycheck in 2020, I am now. And so I'm trying to figure out like where people are going to get this excess money when everything that we were saving, remember, we was all sitting on a bunch of cash like early quarantine because we wasn't going nowhere. But all of that money has been eaten up. People are not saving that way. If they do have anything, they probably buying some weed and like something to help them get through the reality of living in this country, to be honest. So I just think we are going to put regular American people into a crazy financial crisis.
They are. I think that they're going to create more people who are in debt. They're going to push people further away because, again, we have people who are college educated. We have people who are who work 9 to 5 jobs. We have people who work salary positions, and they're struggling.
Yeah.
Because again, it's not even about what they're getting paid. It's the fact that everything around us is going up.
That's it.
And specifically rent.
Yep.
So specifically that. So with everything that you were saying, I 100% agree. But even to add on to that, like we're spending this money here, we find this money that we've looked out for these people. The other part of it is too, our basic infrastructure is still jacked up.
We still don't have an infrastructure bill.
We still don't have a bill. We still don't have the necessary components to create a Medicare for all situation. We still have schools that are behind, and we're talking about education is still. It's so many other things that they have not fixed. That it doesn't make sense that they don't have the money for this.
Yeah.
So they're spending it in crazy places, and then they're not spending it where they should be. So it's just like it's all of that. So, but specifically with this loan forgiveness, my point, my background is education. So I remember when I tried to apply for student loan forgiveness, which is something that they promised to us.
That's right.
If we taught in a high needs area, specifically special education, the arts. In a Title I school, all of that. When I finally went to apply for it, I was denied.
Why? And
it was some stupid ass red tape. Something I should have given them notice that that's what I was working towards like 5 years ago. So basically, by me letting them know that I want my loans forgiven, I would start that following year, which makes no fucking sense.
So because you didn't tell them, hey, I'm about to go teach,
basically,
you couldn't get your loans forgiven.
Even though I could prove it, I could prove it. I taught for 5 years. Look at this. Look at all these school shirts I got.
Unbelievable.
Photo albums, all that. But my point is, my other point is this. I later found out that 85% of the educators who actually applied for that didn't get it. Wow. Only 15% of teachers who applied for that got it.
Yeah.
So with that being said, y'all owe a lot of people money anyway. So it should all be canceled for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So
so a couple of facts about that, y'all. So what is looking like right now is $10,000 in student loan cancellation if you make less than $125,000. If you make over that, you do not qualify. They consider you high earning when we know now that people making $150,000, $200,000, like a good portion of them are now living paycheck to paycheck. Now, some of that could be because of student loans. Chances are, if you're making that much money, you probably got some loans on you. But some of that is just lifestyle choices, and you're going to have to take that up with the Lord. But you can also get $20K, and this is specifically for people who come from low-income families and qualify for a Pell Grant. So, for example, undergrad, I qualified for a Pell Grant because I came from a low-income family. So, just information to take. I'm not saying that we should not take this forgiveness, but I am saying that it's not enough. Again, we can fund everything else under the sun.
Right.
We find money for everything else, and for some reason, this is the one thing. And it's not for some reason. We know what it is. If you give people too much freedom, they start making free decisions for themselves, and they not walking up into your little building to work your little job no more. All of a sudden, they do have freedom to make choices for themselves and for their family, and that crumbles us, in essence, like working for the machines that all of us tend to have to work for to pay these loans.
It's a lot of points to make with this. One, if all loans were forgiven, the group that would benefit the most are black women.
Right here.
So that's one.
Yep.
The other part of it is a lot of people can't buy houses right now because they're still in that debt.
Yep.
They still owe money, or it's deferred and all that. So it's like the whole point of getting an education is to be able to create a legacy for yourself.
That American dream that we were promised, yeah.
The house, you know what I'm saying? The stable income.
The 2.5 kids.
You know what I'm saying? The 2.5 kids. Like all of that. Like we can't, a lot of us are not starting families. A lot of us are not buying homes.
Yes.
A lot of us are not doing anything because of debt.
Yep.
And a part of that debt is student loan debt,
it's
because they told us as poor kids from the hood that you need to go to college. And then look what happened. My last point to this, and I'm going to end my part, specifically, there are a lot of people who don't like this because of what they had to go through. You know what I'm saying? What they had to pay. And they've already paid their stuff. And I'm saying this. I feel you. I feel you in that sense. Like you had to sacrifice. You had to really go through it just to pay that off. So I'm not saying by any frame of mind, by any means that y'all don't deserve money. Y'all deserve y'all's money back if we getting paid. I ain't gonna lie, I would agree. I would join that boat just as hard as the boat I'm on now.
They owe you some money. But don't hate on people who so for me, I still have student loans, but don't get me wrong, I hustled to pay the what I did pay off. Anybody who knew me could tell you, like, I had like a part-time, like doing gigs, all kind of stuff to pay what I did pay off. So I'm with y'all, but you cannot be upset that like a pathway was there for you that maybe someone else didn't have. And I do agree with GS, like, I would be lobbying like, yo, I paid mine off, run me my 10 or my 20K.
Yeah.
Like, run it to me.
Give me a check. That would be nice. That would be nice. And y'all would be owed that.
100%.
I wouldn't, y'all would be owed that. If you paid over 20K and you are still operating within that salary range or that income range, you'll get that money back.
Get your money.
You deserve it. I just, again, point that we were making before we even started the show was, we should not let the system that we're a part of turn us against each other.
Because it's not an us problem. It really is the fact that college is too expensive and it does not create the opportunities that we were promised it creates.
And when you do make those arguments, you have to understand that it is not. First of all, a lot of us don't have choice in this matter. Like, ain't no choice in this for us in terms of whether it's even gonna pass or not. But we would appreciate it. So it's one of those things where it's like, we can't be mad at people who would really benefit from it. Again, I was like, imagine if your enslaved family members came back and saw how free you was living. It's like, y'all too soft. All y'all need to be in. If I went through slavery for all my life, your ass need to go to at least 5 years.
You sound like a hater.
We don't all need to have that struggle, great grandma. We do not. You paid the price.
I hear you.
You paid the ultimate price.
Right. Reparations for your suffering. But that don't mean I need to go.
That does not mean I need to go through it. Just, that's
not my ministry, Grandma.
What did JC said? I went through it, so you didn't have to go through it, or something like that.
Yeah, take one for the team. Come on now.
No.
I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone.
You start some shit. Nah, I'm not. Look, I'm on my own on that. Since she's on her own.
No. It's a joke.
I'm not, we just rocking with you. We just playing with y'all.
But yeah, so one more thing. So the pause has been extended to December 31st. So
December 31st.
Apparently January 1st, 2023, it's supposed to pick back up, but we're gonna see.
Yeah. So
that's it.
That's it.
Sunshine, sunshine, tell me where you are.